So I've been using Undersun fitness products for about 3 years now, and I wanted to give a yearly review update for Undersun fitness products. Now, I did recently do a review for the hip bands and the jump rope, so I don't really need to rehash all of that because I did that recently already, so you can go back and watch that video. But I have had those for quite some time now, even though I was late on the reviews, and they've held up great. But really, I want to focus on the resistance band sets because I've had one set for about 3 years, and then I got two more sets of it that I've had for probably 2.5 years, I think. I got the camo and then another set of orange bands. And for a while there, I was pretty much doing mostly resistance band training in the early part of this channel, probably back in 2020, early 2021, before I started, doing more with the sandbags and the BOSU stuff and getting more into the weighted calisthenics and kind of somewhere in there switching from resistance band dominant to like weighted calisthenics dominant, and then throwing in sandbags and stuff like that as well as accessory stuff. But anyway, I still to this day use Undersun resistance bands, and out of 3 sets, the extra heavy band from the first set is the only one that has ever snapped on me, and that's saying something because, like I said, I used them extensively for a long time, and then I used them sporadically but still consistently after that. And so I had a set of bands for the house, a set of bands for the car, and a set of bands here at work. And, just having one band snap on me after 3 years, not bad for resistance bands, given how much I used that resistance band. And I know a lot of people with the resistance bands, if they have a snap, it'll usually be one of the smaller ones, like the extra light or the light, and usually within the first several months or whatever. But me, all 5 of the bands lasted for almost 3 years, and then I had this snap here recently, which was the first time I've ever actually had a loop resistance band snap. If you've seen videos over the past couple of years on this channel, you'll know that I've always talked about I'd never really had encountered this snapping issue with resistance bands. Well, that finally happened. It was the extra large band from the first set of Undersun bands that I had gotten. So, I say that that's pretty dang good, pretty high quality. They're not the most expensive bands on the market. They're not the cheapest bands on the market, but they're a good, solid priced set of bands of pretty high quality. Now, they're molded. They're not the dip layered or the layered, which can be more expensive and said to have higher quality and all that. But I've had those kind of bands, got rid of them, stuck with the Undersun, because as you've probably heard me say before, bands are pretty much bands when it comes to training with them. I'm not saying that all bands are equal, but I am saying that when you're training with bands, bands are bands. And so the difference is so negligible to not even worry about it. But if you're looking for good quality, that you don't want to spend so much money just for resistance band training, in my opinion. But if you get a cheap set of bands, the quality varies on those as to how much tension do they have, how durable are they, even if they don't snap, do they just kind of give out and become flack and all of that. So those are things to keep in mind. And from my experience of using several different bands from different companies, Undersun is kind of where I settled, though I have to say I really like the 4 set from Kinsui as well for, that mid-range price, and the quality is really good on those. Because of that snap, I no longer use one of my sets. I started just using the Kinsui set because the extra heavy band gets a lot of use out of me anyway, and I needed one. So I didn't replace them since I already had that Kinsui set that I got to review for the channel. But if you are looking for resistance bands for primarily resistance band training, and you want to get into like the programming with the Undersun build and advanced build and all that stuff still available on the app, I highly recommend it. Now, I will say that with Undersun as a company, they have kind of shifted into being kind of this autopilot Amazon company now. You can't order directly from the website anymore. The James Grage has kind of moved his focus from bands only to now he's doing bands, he's doing weights, he's doing all this stuff, which is great because, many of us are not just bands only people, and he has a lot of knowledge to share on all kinds of stuff. So you should subscribe to his YouTube channel. But he still does band content, but he's not just bands only now. And I know that some people in the resistance band training that just do resistance band or primarily do resistance band, I know they were kind of upset about that, and they feel like the company's kind of fallen back a little bit. I don't think so. Because I think the bands still have the same manufacturer and all of that. The only thing that they don't have, which I think is a negative, is when I first started promoting the band, they had a lifetime warranty. So that would have meant had my extra heavy band snapped with that warranty still in existence, I could have got it replaced, but I couldn't do that anymore. Now they do have a warranty, but you have to go through this whole process, and they're not going to replace a band after 3 years of heavy use. So that is kind of sad, but I get it because I know that people were abusing that, and that's one of the reasons why they got rid of that, because a lot of people, they would just mistreat the band, snap them, get a new one, and then repeat. And so I understand that, but it was a nice selling point about those bands that I can no longer recommend as part of why you should get them, but I can still recommend them as solid bands. 3 sets of bands that I've had, 1 snap. And, it was bound to happen, but I'm still impressed. And the other 2 sets are going strong. And one of them I don't use quite as much because it's my travel set. And even when I travel, I'm not just, doing a lot of resistance band exercises, because I mix it in with other stuff. But still, I mean, as far as like the bands go, they are still one of my most recommended, trusted brands. As far as like the price to quality ratio, I think is better than some of the more expensive bands that have different processes that are layered or dip layered or whatever, as opposed to molded. But, I keep coming back to bands are bands. If you can get a good quality set of bands when you're training with them, if you're not having to worry too much about, losing tension, wearing out, or snapping or whatever, for the price, I think it's worth it just to get a set of Undersun bands. The differences are so negligible from the different types of manufacturing for most people. Now, I know that there's going to be some people that are just diehard resistance band only. People are going to say, "Oh no, the dip layered bands from Serious Steel or Clinch or what?" Yeah, okay. I've trained with bands. I've trained with those bands, and band training is band training. So, and then of course all the other uses that you can have with resistance bands. Just get a good solid set of bands. Undersun is still that solid set of bands, so I still want to recommend them to everybody. I've had a lot of success and good results, and they've held up for the most part, except for 1 band out of 3 sets, and that 1 band was from the oldest set. So go figure. Not the end of the world. It'd be nice if they still had the lifetime replacement thing, but they don't. And, but I've got tons of bands anyway. So there you go. Those are my thoughts on the Undersun fitness equipment after 3 years and still using them, still wearing the t-shirt, all of that. So there you go. If you liked the video, click the like button. If you didn't like the video, click the dislike button. I don't really care either way. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. And if you want to support what we're doing at Theology Geek Fitness, you can do that by becoming a patron at patreon.com/theologygeekfitness. $1 gets you into the door to hundreds of workout routine videos, many of them having just resistance band workouts. You can dive right in, follow along with those. If you're a $10 and above patron, you can get access to our quarterly gear giveaway, where the money I get from Patreon, I reinvest in the channel to continue to buy fitness products for, home or anywhere fitness, and test them out. If I like them, if I don't like them, either way, if I don't think I'm going to use it on a regular basis, I offer that stuff back to the patrons at a first come, first serve when I release the video, and give it back to them because they make this channel possible. So with that, I appreciate you watching this video. I'll see you in the next one. God bless.